Okay, my name is Becky Tyree. I'm the postmaster. I'm 53 and I don't have tribal status. For my position would be from 85,000 to 103,000 a year. I don't have college. I have a high school diploma. That is required to work at the post office, either high school diploma or GED. A lot of reasons. The one thing that I love about the post office is I can go anywhere in the country and I can have a job. So any city, any town, we're everywhere, and we have so much different types of jobs that you can do just about anything. Mine is to manage the Warm Springs post office. I get there about between 6 and 6:30. The mail usually is there between 6:30 and 7. I put the box mail up. We don't open the doors until 8:30. Then I wait on customers. I usually have a clerk that comes in at 10. At that point in time, the clerk would take over the craft work, and then I move over to the management issue, doing reports and whatever else needs to be done. Probably the biggest one would just be paying attention, being able to, we deal with a lot of numbers and it's super easy to get them flip-flopped. So that would be probably the biggest one. That's the most visible mistake that we would make, would be flip-flopping two numbers in an address so that we accidentally gave it to the wrong customer. So that would be the biggest, just being able to pay attention to detail. Dealing with the customers. Probably dealing with the customers. It's good when they're happy, when they're angry sometimes, especially if it's something that you screwed up and you know you screwed it up. You know, all you can really kind of do is just fall on your sword and apologize as much as you possibly can and try and make it right. But for some people, that's still not enough, you know. It just, yeah. I think the post office is a great thing for young people because it is so diverse. I mean, we have IT, we have sales, we have just regular craft work, being a clerk in an office, being a carrier out delivering the mail, being a manager. We have things that are overseas, jobs that are overseas where you get paid to travel the world, you know. So just get your foot in the door and think about it more as a long-term. You know, it's definitely a career. It's not just something you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do this for a year and then move on, because you're not going to get what you want out of it. But by the time you start and you keep going, you have a federal government pension, you have a 401k that they match part of. So you end up setting yourself up definitely for later in life as well. So that would be my best look at it, as for the bigger picture than just the, I need a job right now. So if it was a package, say, they would come to the counter and we would weigh it up and go through a couple questions with them to see what they want, what they need, try and get it, you know, to where it's going to work best, plus depending on what's in it as to different ways that we can mail it as well. So once it leaves Warm Springs, it goes to Bend and gets cross-docked, which means just from one truck to the other, because they have a much bigger dock. goes to Portland and then goes all over the country wherever it's destined for. It gets to a post office just like ours, and then somebody else over there works it, either delivers it to their P.O. box or gets it to the carrier, who would then take it to their front door. I got the wrong mail. You put the wrong mail in my box, so 9 times out of 10, once somebody receives something that's not for them, then the first thing they think of is, well, if I got somebody else's mail, where did my mail go? So that's probably the biggest concern that we have. Sometimes things take longer than they should to get here. A lot of times it's out of our control. Sometimes it's in our control, but not necessarily in my control here. So it's just trying to help the customer out so that we can take those complaints away so that they get what they are expecting when they're expecting it. It just needs to be properly packaged, so not using necessarily, you can use an old box, but make sure it doesn't have any markings on it, anything that, because there's certain things that you can't mail. So if it says like bleach across it or something, then there's certain things that have to be done to that box to have it ready. Otherwise, if it was a letter, you just need to have a stamp on it and the address on it and send it on out. You take a test. Well, you apply first, and everything's done online now. You take a test, which I have no clue what the test is even like, because I did mine 25 years ago and it's a lot different now. But you still have to take a test to be able to hire on. You can hire on as a non-career employee without taking the test, but then you kind of get your foot in the door and you see, maybe this is something I might like, or maybe it's not. And then you would take the test and then start applying for some of the other jobs that are career appointments. You can either do it online or come into the office and fill out an application. Depends on the day of the week. Mondays always take us, usually the mail, we get it up by 10:30 on a Monday. The rest of the week, sometimes it's up before we even open the office. Sometimes it's not up until 10:30 as well. It just depends on what volume we get for the day. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. So we've got carriers and clerks, obviously, supervisors, postmasters, truck drivers. We have IT people, we have finance people, we have sales people, we have social media people, we have engineers. Then there's a whole separate section of the post office that's through the plants, which is they do all the processing. So on the big machines and everything. So that's a whole different kind of craft. So it pretty much the sky's the limit. I think you could do just about anything you wanted to. We've even got maintenance and construction type people as well. So we definitely got a wide variety. So like to someplace here, it would be, whereas we don't have street delivery here, everything goes to P.O. boxes. So we get a ton of mail every day that doesn't have the P.O. box. It's got the street address. So we try to match it up. A lot of it we can't. They're not listed in the system, or that address isn't listed in the system, or for whatever reason. So we have to send it back. So just getting the right address on there seems to be an issue sometimes. Express mail is our guaranteed service. So it's guaranteed 2 days to most places, 3 days to some, and it's a money back guarantee. Priority mail is just about 3 days to most places, but it's not guaranteed. Um, it. I still feel that it's an important job. And actually, I've only been in Warm Springs since April, but I've seen that a lot more here. How much people really rely on us, to get their checks, to get their correspondence from loved ones, because not everybody has a cell phone, not everybody has internet, not everybody um, is into technology. So for a lot of them, that's their lifeline. And if we weren't there, I don't know what they would do.